Welcome back to Calhoun County's Most Wanted. I'm your host, Sheriff Matthew Wade. We're glad to have you back. This week, had 4 arrests, brings our count up to 4,646 arrested, all because somebody was willing to give us information. Here at the Sheriff's Office, we like to think of ourselves as the community policing. We got to have your help, and we want to make sure that we do everything we can to give you that trust that you can call us and tell us information, because it's so vital we work together. This week on the show, we'll have B.R. Wilson with us. He'll be talking to us about a Unity Tour, Patriots, God, and Country. This is where they have different fire trucks that are wrapped in different themes: law enforcement, fire. One's pink, the pink fire truck, which this month, October, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's also October this week, October the 4th through the 8th, is also Fire Prevention Week. So there's a lot going on in the month of October. The weather's cooling off and things are starting to feel good. So here at the Sheriff's Office, we're ready to talk about some of that and make sure that we keep you safe from fires and keep you informed about what's going on in the community. So if you stay with us, we'll give you the first half of the lineup and our first guest in just a few minutes.
Behind me is a gift card station. You may have seen one at any of the chain stores here locally. You've probably shopped at one. Unfortunately, way too many people in Calhoun County shop these for the wrong reason. As you can see, there are Amazon, iTunes, eBay, and PayPal cards, and many store brand cards. These are all gift cards. Keep in mind the word gift. These cards are not for paying a bill. They're not to pay for lottery winnings, and not to pay for a family member's bond or your bond to prevent an arrest. They should not be used to pay for something that you have found for sale on a Facebook yard sale ad or something on Craigslist. The utility companies or the Social Security office will not contact you to make payment for any reason by using a gift card. If you find an item for sale, be sure you see the item in person and verify the seller is legitimate. Remember, you never really know who is behind the computer screen selling a pet or a car or even renting a house or an apartment. You don't really know who this boyfriend or girlfriend is that you met online and have been corresponding with because they are stationed in the Middle East and trying to get back home. Unfortunately, we live in a digital age now, and you just don't know who you are dealing with, be it by computer, text messages, or an actual phone call. Don't talk to strangers. This is the same warning that we strongly advise our children. Weekly, I hear from folks who have been scammed out of their hard-earned money by purchasing these cards to give the card numbers to criminals. If you have been scammed or know someone who has been scammed, the best way to get the word out and warn others is for you to tell the story. If you need more information, you can call me, Nancy Hilton, at the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office, 256-236-6600.
Welcome to this week's lineup. Ramona Thompson of Boaz, probation revocation for attempted identity theft. Ginger Jedrick of Brookwood, she has a failure to appear for possession of controlled substance. Demetrius McCullough of Anniston, failure to pay on possession of marijuana second. Kimberly Stand of Oxford, probation violation, possession of controlled substance. Jamie Striplin of Anniston, probation revocation for making a terroristic threat. Lester Waltrip of Anniston, he's wanted for violation of a Sex Offender Registration Notification Act. If you have any information for these subjects, please call us at the Sheriff's Office at 256-236-6600. We need your information, just not your name. Welcome back to Calhoun County's Most Wanted. I'm your host, Sheriff Matthew Wade. Hopefully you saw somebody in the lineup and you can give us a call and we can take them to jail and get them off the streets. Welcome to the show, B.R. Williams, Assistant Chief with the Quad City Volunteer Fire Department. Before we get started, I just want to let you know my house is protected by a volunteer fire department and they do an outstanding and wonderful job. And people will ask me from time again and says, well, ain't your insurance rates high living out in rural Calhoun County? And I tell them what my insurance rate is. And I know people pay higher in some cities than I do living out in rural Calhoun County with a volunteer fire department. And the guys that protect us are all volunteers, but they're professional and they do a good job. And I appreciate all that you do and all that the volunteer firemen across our county do to keep people's homes safe, because y'all really do a wonderful job. You're all volunteers, and as they say, nothing's stronger than the heart of a volunteer.
That's
so
true.
I appreciate what you do.
That's true. Thank you. If it wasn't for volunteers, you wouldn't have fire covers out in there. So
And then your insurance rates would
it would be a lot higher.
probably couldn't even get a loan for a house if you didn't have them. So
Probably true.
I don't
That's
think
true.
People across the county really realize the importance of a volunteer fire department and what they do, and what would happen if those volunteers decided to just not do it anymore.
That's it. That's really it. It would be sad if it didn't. And a lot of people think that in our Choccolocco area that Anderson's going to come out, but it's us. And they realize now that we're there. We do it all. So they really love us out there for what we do.
And everyone I've ever come across is professional and well trained and do a great job. How long have you been volunteering?
Since 1993.
Almost 30 years.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to get started in volunteering for the fire department?
I donated some electrical work to a building that they had that the 93 snow broke down, and they said, well, we need to put you in the department. So there I was.
The rest is history.
Rest is history.
So now you're assistant chief, and
Yeah.
How many people do y'all have in the volunteer fire department?
We've got it right at about 30.
30?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is an awesome thing. And like I said, it's really appreciative to have somebody volunteer, because most people get paid when they go to work, and volunteers will come out all hours of the night, and they never fail to respond, and they do it because they love their community and love what they do. So we appreciate that very much. But here today we're going to talk about the
Patriots, God, and Country Tour.
So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about what that is.
What it is fire trucks that have been wrapped in the different things. We got the law enforcement, we got the military, we got the monuments, we got the Second Amendment, then we got SUVs. We got 5 pumpers that are wrapped, and they're beautiful. All this, they're just gorgeous. And I think there's been like three pumpers and 1 SUV. It's been wrapped right here at Freestyle Graphics in Oxford. And we're going around the world. Started in Phoenix, Arizona. It's coming out of Texas right now as of this morning. It's on the way to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And from there, it's going to be going on up into Illinois and back up that way. But it will eventually be back here October the 18th in Oxford. But we're trying to bring unity back into the United States. It's giving love. It's not a tour for anybody running for any kind of an office. It's just bringing love, showing our military, showing our law enforcements that we love them and we're there for them. It's what we're trying to do.
Well, that's definitely needed in this time. And
It is.
well, also it's when you talk about pumpers, I guess a traditional, what I call a traditional fire truck.
Yes.
Where you seen them on the, when I was little, they used to ride on the back of them. I always loved to see somebody riding on the back of a fire truck.
Yeah.
But so that's what a pumper is.
Yeah, that's correct.
But that's something good for kids to come and see and get to know what the firemen and other law enforcement and public safety officials do, because we're all real people, and getting to know those people will do nothing but strengthen our community. And that's kind of what this show is about, to try to make sure people know we're human and try to build those relationships. So
That's exactly what it's about. We're trying to bring love. We got veterans that's going to be there. The military one has got different war pictures on it and stuff there, and it has been down in Texas, and there was a 97-year-old veteran, and one veteran there, he played the trumpet at Patton's funeral.
Wow.
And they got to see this truck, and they touched it, and tears break down. And we're just wanting to do something for them. And all the veterans, we got a lot of veterans that's going to be here that Sunday. We're going to be coming down out of Gaston into Glencoe. Then we're coming down into here between 12 and 12:30. will be rolling in with these trucks.
And that's on October the 18th.
October the 18th. It will be at Lowe's parking lot right here. And we're going to be having a big show and big thing with the veterans going on here in law enforcement.
Is that a Saturday or Sunday?
That's a Sunday.
That's a Sunday. That's what I thought.
It's a Sunday, and they're not going to be wanting to miss this. If they hear about it and see it, it's just an awesome thing. Support what we're trying to do. Support.
Well, all right. Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes, and we'll talk about the Patriots, God, and country. We'll be right back for the second half of the lineup. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the second half of the lineup. Joe Cooper of Talladega, failure to appear for probation revocation. India Kimball of Mobile, failure to pay for aggravated child abuse. Crystal Smith of Heflin, failure to appear for obstructing the justice and using a false identity. Crystal Johnson of Jacksonville, failure to pay manufacturing a controlled substance. LaSalle Cunningham of Anniston, failure to appear for distribution of controlled substance, possession of marijuana first. Justin Bagley of Anniston, probation violation, possession of controlled substance, burglary third, obstructing justice and using a false identity. Wilbert Johnson of Anniston, failure to pay on assault first. If you have any information about these cases, please call us at the Sheriff's Office, 256-236-6600. Again, we need your information, not your name. Welcome back to the show. We hope you saw something there that you recognized or help us solve some crimes, and always give us a call at 256-236-6600. We need your information, just not your name. But we're back with B.R. Wilson, from the Assistant Chief of the Quad Cities Volunteer Fire Department. So we're talking about the Patriots, God, and Country Tour, Unity Tour, where volunteers and firemen are wrapped vehicles, and they're traveling the whole United States. So they started in Arizona, and they'll be here on October the 18th. But tell us a little bit how this got started. Who come up with this idea, and where did it start at?
Dave Graybill from Arizona, he's the founder of Pink Hills, the Pink Fire Trucks. He was a retired professional baseball player. He's a retired firefighter and a neighbor, battled breast cancer, and he says, we want to give love. And he says, what better way to do this thing than to use fire trucks, paint them pink. And we wear pink, we drive pink fire trucks and stuff in honor of mothers. We go around, we give love, we give hope, and we do visit. But he got this started with a tour.
And that pink fire truck has actually been to the Sheriff's Office, where we lost an employee several years ago, and she had breast cancer, and when the fire truck come around, she always wanted to go see it, and she signed her name to it and got her picture with it, and we miss her dearly, but that was something that she enjoyed and looked forward to, and so that it does make a difference.
It does. It's something that we're doing with the Pink Fire Truck right now, and I've been working with children in Calhoun County and around that area. But Dave felt it in his heart that he wanted to do something for the United States, and he said, let's show some love. Let's wrap these vehicles, and let's get a tour going. And he asked for donations, and people started donating vehicles and donating money to have these things wrapped. And there's a long ways off from being paid for yet, and it's very expensive. But let's start with and get everybody going together.
So how did you get involved in this?
Well, I have the Pink Hills chapter, and Dave is stays with me on everything, and he says, I need you to help me in this area. So here I am, and so I'm done it.
So you actually got started, so the founder in Arizona called and asked you, and so I know you have the Pink Fire Truck, so what have you done on the Patriots Tour? You said some of these vehicles have been wrapped here, so what vehicles were wrapped here, and how did you get them here to do that?
Okay, I have put a guy, took him to Atlanta Airport last Friday, we could go. He went to Wilmington, North Carolina, and picked up a truck and drove it back to my house. And I worked all last weekend, pressure washing, cleaning, getting it ready for Monday to be at Freestyle Graphics in Oxford. And we already had the Freedom of Religion truck, and it was at our #1 station on Highway 9, and we had a SUV wrapped down there, and then we had the law enforcement, the police truck and everything wrapped. And so I've kept them at our station or kept them in my yard, and so now we have the Freedom of Religion truck. Picked them up, military one last Friday, and washed it, cleaned it up. Military truck, ready to leave. Freedom of Religion says I'm not going. After all this work, and it still can't get it cranked, and it's still sitting in Oxford, and I'm hoping to get it going today and get this on the tour.
So those other vehicles, will they pick them up when they come here on the 18th, or are they already gone out there?
They've already joined them. The only one that's sitting back and refusing to leave is the Freedom of Religion. And
so somebody drove them from here all the way out to Arizona, and they're making their way back?
To Arizona, to Texas, and now the Freedom of Religion. What I'm going to do now, we're just going to wait. We were going to take it to Ohio, but now we decided just to wait. When it comes to Gaston on the 18th that morning early, I'm going to be taking it up to Gaston, down to Glencoe, down to Oxford.
And when they go to Oxford that day, will it be kind of like a festival, like a place where people can come see them, and will there be any food or drink, or Lowe's putting on anything?
Lowe's is going to be cooking. Brad's Barbecue has donated me a case of 200 hot dogs to be cooked. We're a lot of veteran groups will be donating the buns and stuff like that, but Lowe's is doing a big cooking and doing a big thing for us there. They're putting up a canopy, and they're behind it, and I want to thank Lowe's for letting us come there, and because we're going to be taking up a big section in their parking lot, because there's a lot of veteran groups that's going to be there, and they're going to be doing all kind of different stuff, and all the people that come and see it. And motorcycles, these things are being escorted and protected by motorcycle groups. They're watching over these trucks, and it's a great thing there that they don't want anything to happen to these
Well,
vehicles.
and I love hearing those motorcycles, and they're gorgeous in their own right.
Yeah.
But you know, I go to Lowe's a bunch. Every time I go to Lowe's, there's a ton of people there. They've got a lot of my money from all the stuff I do around the house. So we'll try to be down there on October the 18th to see those beautiful vehicles, and maybe we can spread the love, because being kind and doing an act of kindness is contagious, and it does your heart well. So thank you for what you're doing, and we appreciate it very much. Stay tuned. We'll show you some property crimes. Hopefully you can help us solve. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. This is a segment where we ask you to help us with some crimes. Starting off on the early morning hours of September the 25th, an unknown person broke into a vehicle located on Torrin Lane in Anniston. The car was damaged and miscellaneous items were stolen. There were 2 car chargers which were left by the suspect. Hopefully we can get some information off of that. On September the 9th, an unknown person illegally entered a fence in a business facility located on Spring Branch Road in Alexandria. Utility boxes on a bucket truck were damaged. Between September the 15th and October the 1st, an auto tag and a Pioneer radio with a detachable face were stolen from a vehicle parked at a business located on Highway 21 South in Oxford. On October the 2nd, a 2000 white Dodge Dakota was stolen from a residence on DeArmonville Road in Anniston. On October the 5th, 2 reports were filed for breaking and entering of vehicles on Lillian Lane in Anniston. A Glock Model 19 and a Smith & Wesson 9mm and 2 pair of Costa sunglasses were stolen. If you have any information about these cases, please call us at the Sheriff's Office, 256-236-6600.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
All right. This week's Crazy Criminals, I think, is a pretty good one. It being October, being Fire Prevention Month, and you know, over in Woodbury, New Jersey, Taja Russell she got a text from her ex-boyfriend for a late night rendezvous, you might say. He asked her to come over and see him. Apparently he had been drinking and asked her to come over. You know, somebody might refer to that as a booty call. I'm not sure, but she decided she'd come over. Well, when she got there, he had passed out and fell asleep. So you could see where, being the ex-girlfriend, he talks her into coming over, she comes over and he falls asleep. So it angers her, and she sets his house on fire at 4 o'clock in the morning. And but the good news is he was able to get out of a window, and the firemen were able to save his dog. And Taja Russell was arrested for attempted murder in Woodbury, New Jersey, for burning his house down because he fell asleep before she got there on the booty call. So, fellas, if you're going to ask a lady to come over, it being Fire Prevention Month and all, you might want to make sure you stay awake till she gets there. We appreciate you watching the show. We hope to see you next week, but hopefully not in the lineup. Calhoun County's Most Wanted, Sheriff Matthew Wade.